Multiple payments and receipts bookings. From the Accounts menu, select Multiple Payments. And let's suppose we've written out a few cheques and we need to book them through. I could book them individually through the normal payments program or use this program. So make sure that the money account is correct at the top here. This will default to the main money account, but it can be changed if need be. And enter in our total. This is the total amount of all our cheques. The default date, make sure that's correct, although against each line you can change the date if it's different. Give it a default fund, so in this case I'm going to default to general, which means that if I don't enter anything into the fund code column in the grids, it will default to the general fund. So if we moved on down to the lines, so I'm going to leave the effective date field blank for this first line, so it defaults to the default date. In the account code column, I know what the account code is, so I can type it in. And I can use my cursor keys to go along to the value column. Enter that in. So fund code is general, so I'll leave that blank. And payment reference, so this would be the cheque number, for example. So this is what will appear on your bank reconciliation program. Now enter the expenditure reference, so in this case it's going to be the payee name. And if we move on down to the next line, so this is for a different date, so I'm going to type a different date in here. Now I don't know what the account code is, so I can right click and go down and select the relevant one from the list. And enter our value in again. Now this is for a different fund, so I'm going to right click and select a different fund there. Again, give it a payment reference. And the reference of what it was for or who you're paying. Let's do another line. So I'm going to leave the effective date blank, so that'll default to today's date again. And I'm going to type the code in. To our value. And this one is for our youth fund. And type it in there and give it a reference. Right, what that will do when I click on confirm is it makes sure all the values add up to the total at the top here. It's defaulted in the effective date into any blank lines and also the default fund to any blank lines. Now we'll just click on record and that's saved away. We now take a look at multiple receipts. You'll see that this screen is quite similar. So again, you need to make sure that the money account is correct here. Enter in a receipt reference, so this would be normally something like a paying in book number or bank transfer number, something like that. And the total. So let's suppose I've done some banking today, which includes some donations that I've received for the building and the general fund, and perhaps some subscriptions from the youth club. So we need to make sure that the default date is correct, so we'll leave that at the top there and go down to our account. So this is for our building fund. Give it a reference. Say it was from a collection box. Now we're going to enter another line. This one is for the general fund. And then we're going to enter some subscriptions for our youth fund. For multiple receipts, it's the receipt reference at the top here that you'll see in your bank reconciliation program. And just click on confirm and record.